Good evening, bookies. My name is Hannah, and today we are back with Top 10 Tuesdays. So in this episode of Top 10 Tuesdays, we are talking about the top 10 book covers that I would hang up in my home as art. And it was very easy to pick these because kind of like I have a certain theme for a couple of them, but then it's like I also want ones that like have certain elements to it, have certain colors. I just really like them, and I know it's kind of like my favorite book covers for some of these, but other ones it's like just like some of them are minimalistic, some of them are like super flashy and cool, and I just love them all. So I am going to do this. Let's go. So for the first book that I actually have a stack of books because it's not a particular book that I want to have, like the art that I want to have hung up on my wall. It's a certain color scheme that I really enjoy in books. And yeah, on one of these books I do want to hang it up on my wall, but I do just kind of want to show you guys the color scheme that I'm going for. And the color scheme is red, black, and white. Like, I don't know why, but I love red, black, and white colors on a book cover. I'm pretty sure there's more than this that I own, but this is just the 4 that I thought of when it came to choosing the red, black, and white. If I were to hang up any of these in my house, it'd either be A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm sorry, it's been a very long day. But it'd be A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab or The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I love these covers equally so much that I really couldn't choose between one. The other 2 were kind of there just as example, though I do love dinosaurs. So like the Jurassic Park one is a little bit higher than the Me Before You. But it's very hard to choose between these 2 because I think they're both very pretty, like gorgeous covers, and I would not be able to choose between both, especially since one's darker than the other. And it's like, well, this one's got like the cool circus tent and the silhouettes, and like the font is beautiful, and this one's got like the Londons and it's got Kel, and I don't know, it'd be very, very difficult to choose between these 2. So the next one that I have, I love the dust cover. The dust cover is pretty, but I also love what is under the dust cover, so the actual hardback book cover, which is also gorgeous. If I had to choose one to hang up on my wall, it'd probably be what's under the dust cover, just because it's so pretty. This book is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Now, the cover is gorgeous on its own with the red vines and the red crown and it. Very simple, very beautiful, and it's the red, black, and white. I didn't even realize that it was the red, black, and white, but this one seems a little different than those ones. I'll show you. Let's see. This one couldn't be included in the last group. So I probably would hang this on my wall if given the chance, or this. Like, they're both the same. This one's just got a jester hat and this one's got a crown. The spine is just, heartless, which is still very pretty, but it would be this that I would hang up and not the actual jacket. Now that my book is naked, let's get you dressed. So the next one I have is a recently bought book, and when I saw this cover for the first time, I remember, and I was like, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover, and I love it so much. And the book is Flame in the Mist by Renee Audier. I love everything about this cover. Like, this is probably supposed to be a phoenix, but it's got peacock feathers, which I love, and I think it's so amazing. And then the flowers and the ninja stars. I literally love everything about this cover. I think it's gorgeous. I would hang it on my wall. So a lot of these books on this list have a certain element to them that I absolutely love, and that's why I would hang them on my wall if given the chance. It's a certain element. It's like some of them aren't the whole cover, but like other parts where it's like just that one thing, and it's worth hanging up on my wall. So the one thing at first, it's Wolf by Ryan Gradine. I love the motorcycle wolf shadow mix there. I really do. And then I love how it's going across the map. Albeit the font, the title is a little big, but I can't see it being any smaller than that. I love this cover. It might seem a little boring, but it was enough to draw me up to it. I really want to read this book. I was gonna read this book in the bathtub the other day and I didn't get a chance. Anyway, this cover is absolutely amazing. I really love the wolf and the motorcycle. I think that is my favorite part of the whole cover. So the next book I have is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I love the style of this book so much and how it almost looks like it's painted. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like you could see brush strokes or like the way that this would move with the grain. It's very beautiful. I think there's so many things that hopefully are incorporated in the book. I haven't read it yet, but like the serpents up here, the rose, the hawk, you know, this guy down here, I don't know what that is. I have not read this book, obviously. Oh, and then they've got this, a little tree that turns into like, interesting. For some reason I've looked at this a lot and I've never noticed that before. This is a beautiful cover. I do love the way the font is across the bottom. It's so pretty. Do they have this in hardback? I probably want to buy this in hardback just because the cover is so pretty. So the next book on the list I actually have read, and it is my favorite book of this series, so I'm probably a little biased, but I love this cover. I actually love most of the covers from this series. This is Sea of Monsters by everyone says it differently, Riordan? Like, people say it differently. I don't know how it's actually said. I actually love this cover a lot just because it's got like the Cyclops eye, and it's got Percy Grover and Annabeth running across the bridge. And then down here they've got the ship. What is the ship called? I don't quite remember. It seems like a really simple cover, but like I feel like it's all so tied together so perfectly, and then it's all that like that tannish yellow color. But other covers of the series are awesome too. I really love the skyline over here and like the maze in the foreground. I don't know. This is such like an interesting way to do covers, and I think they redid the covers. I don't know what the new covers look like, but I'm pretty sure they redid the covers. I haven't really checked them out yet. I'm actually going to look them up and give you guys my input. Okay, so as I'm looking at them, I like the spines. Those are the new spines, right? Yeah. But I think I would prefer, like, here's the Sea of Monsters one right here compared to the old one. I would prefer the old one better. I think I prefer all the old ones better just because I'm boring like that. I don't know why. But as I'm like looking through them, I don't really like the new ones. That's kind of sad. Yeah, I definitely prefer the old original ones compared to the new ones that they got out. Moving on. Okay, so the next one that I have is also by Marissa Meyer, and it's her new book, Renegades. I almost just said by Marissa Meyer just out of habit. This is almost like my color scheme. They just kind of added blue in there. I really like this cover, just the building, and then it's got both of the, I don't know, are they protagonists? They got the protagonists on each side of the building, and it's like the red is so, but it's so bright and it's so obvious, and it's like in your face red and like the muted blue. Down here's some yellows. It's such an interesting cover, and like I think I've said this before, but like the slanting gets me. I love the slanting because it makes it feel very superhero, and I think this is what that book's about, is superheroes. Ooh. So the back has more kind of buildings, skyline. I like those. I really do like this cover. It's a very pretty cover. So the next book I have is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I don't know if I said that right in the slightest. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. So I do love this cover, but what I really love is what's beneath it. Look at that. Guys, that is how you do... Oh god, I keep on forgetting it's not dust jacket, it's just the bear. It's just how you do this. And then they've got that on the spine. This is how you do a cover, guys. I feel like it's like a little treasure hidden underneath the original cover. And when like the original cover, the dust jacket is beautiful and gorgeous, and then you lift it up and you find this, it's like, oh my gosh, it's two treats in one, and it's amazing and it's beautiful. And this is probably the most gorgeous just bear book I've ever seen. Okay, so the second to last book that I have on my list is a massive freaking book, and the way when I first saw the cover, let me rewind a little bit. So I've never read any of this author's books, and it's a very, very popular author. He's got a lot of movies out for his books. He's got just a lot of books. Like, this guy doesn't sleep, he writes. I've never owned one of his books, but I saw this cover and immediately my head went to The Last of Us, the video game, which I love. I love The Last of Us so much. The cover and book is Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and Owen King. Just kind of the way the face is reminds me of, what is it, the clickers in The Last of Us, which is a zombie video game. This cover, I had this book set out on my bookshelves in some of my videos like this. That's how much I loved this cover, because I think it is a gorgeous cover with like the red of her lips, the white of her face, and then just, I don't know if I think they're butterflies. It might be a butterfly or two plus flowers or something like that. This cover is beautiful. Whoever designed this cover, kudos to you, man. You did an awesome job. And last but not least, this is not my number one favorite. Like, this is not my number one. How do I explain this? I love this book cover, but if I had to hang any of these on my wall, this would probably not be the one that I choose first. But I love this book cover. It's always been one of my favorite book covers. You're on my fingers. This book cover is Incarnate by Jody Meadows. I love this book. I love this cover. I talk about it probably way too much. Can you get out of there? Get out of here. So this one is very similar to Sleeping Beauties, not story-wise in the slightest, but like cover-wise, because it's got a girl and she's got a butterfly on her face. And when I originally saw this cover, I was like, this book's gonna be weird, but I loved the cover and I ended up loving the book, and so it was perfect. It's a perfect cover, and if they redid these covers, I would be very, very sad. But they'd have to work pretty damn hard to do better than this. So this is it for my Top 10 Tuesdays. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you guys didn't get a video on Friday. It's because it's taken a little bit longer to edit than I would like. So it will probably come this Friday. Honestly, I'm so sorry you guys didn't get a video Friday. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Rock on. Hey guys, I'm Hannah at Heckyeahbooks, and today me and my sister, who you are going to meet in just a few seconds, we are doing the siblings tag. So she is sitting behind the camera.